So I was just joking with Mayor Dean from Chestermere. How do I follow that one? Well, hello everybody. Oki, Ambawastish, Danitara, Tanshe, Tanze, hello, bonjour, assalamu alaikum. I am so thrilled to be here. Stuart, I don't know if you know this, Stuart, but I have been going to the Calgary Stampede Parade since I was a baby. I was born 40 years ago last week, and my first Calgary Stampede was 40 years ago yesterday, and my first one on a horse happened to be this year yesterday. So thanks for the patience that you, the other board directors, Councillor Chabot as well, who serves on the board with me, have been extending me. I want to open with this. Ingrained in my mind are childhood memories of walking down from East Calgary, from Dover, down 17th Avenue, International Avenue, who I know former Mayor Nenshi knows very well, down through Inglewood, there by about 3:30 or 4 a.m. to be able to get our spot, to be able to take in the parade. And every single year we would come back. I know that my granny, who was a volunteer, a mentor, a school teacher, her volunteerism as well as working the grandstands during Stampede, this was her equivalent of her Super Bowl, I will say. And I remember growing up, there's a phrase that's etched in my mind. I asked her, why would you do this? Why would you be one of those amazing 3,000 volunteers? Why would you wake up early? Why would you commit to a shift to Caravan? And she, for me, said it was relatively simple. Being Calgarian means being part of something bigger. And I thought that was something that only she would say. And I'll be honest, I was here with Anila last year, and we had the opportunity to take in the amazing food, to get to meet the community. But nobody in my life has made me feel the same way that my grandmother did. Being Calgarian means being part of something bigger. Until Anila brought me to the corner there to meet the aunties, who have been telling me that apparently the food is getting cold. So I am going to try to keep my remarks brief. This year also marks 40 years of the Ismaili community participating in the Calgary Stampede Parade, following more than 50 years of presence and celebration here in Canada. And these are milestones that tell a really remarkable story. The story of families who came here seeking opportunity, stories of people who embraced Calgary while helping to build Calgary, a story of service, of seva. And as the son of an immigrant refugee father, I understand something about that journey, because my story might be different in the details, but it's very familiar to the many Ismaili families who are with us here today. People who built businesses, many of them who are on the board right behind me. A big shout out to the amazing volunteers and sponsors. Many people who educated the next generation, people who care for the sick, people who volunteered, people who became mayors, people who strengthened every part of our city. And the Ismaili community reminds us that the faith is something that we both believe and something that we live. And that spirit is captured so beautifully in this year's parade partnership with Generations Calgary. And that theme, Generations United, Calgary Ignited. And it reminds us that strong cities are built through those relationships across the generations. Yes, with our First Peoples, our Indigenous neighbors, Lieutenant Governor who founded the city, the generations of newcomers who came here generation after generation to strengthen it, young people bringing energy, seniors bringing wisdom, families passing on values, and communities growing stronger when every generation, every one of us, has a place. And as mayor, seeing Calgary's amazing growth, as Calgary grows towards welcoming, if you believe it or not, our 2 millionth Calgarian, I think that lesson matters now more than ever, because it is about belonging. It's about building a city where every person has the opportunity to contribute. And if I can just briefly acknowledge the heavy moments of time that we're currently in. Right now, we exist in an environment where too many people in leadership are inclined to scapegoat newcomers, to scapegoat immigration as the cause for challenges we have around services, infrastructure, housing, affordability. And if you take one thing away from me today, I want it to be this. Right now, in Calgary today, more than 1 in 3 Calgarians were not born in Canada. 1 in 3 Calgarians. And at the same time, we have one of the most highly educated workforces, the highest rate of job creation, small business ownership right here in Northeast Calgary than any other jurisdiction in Canada. So what does it mean for those two facts to be true? 1 in 3 of us were from somewhere else and made this place home. And at the same time, we're kicking butt on all of the metrics that matter. It means that the world's best people are coming here to Canada to be able to contribute and build this city. And I'm going to go even further than that, to push back against some of the misinformation that exists. The facts say that the newcomer to Calgary is more likely to come here with the scarce building trades to come here to build you a house than they are to compete for housing. And even further than that, they're coming here more likely statistically to come here and make you a job and start a business than they are coming here to steal your job. And I think in this current climate, in this current environment where the misinformation is rewarded, apparently, we need to push back against that. And that is really what we're here about. And this spirit matters now more today because we are living through a moment that calls for clarity on so many different levels. And having had the opportunity to sit down recently with the Muslim Council of Calgary, I want to make one point extremely clear. Let's not overcomplicate it. Islamophobia at this time is rising. It's no longer hidden. It's showing up in this community and elsewhere in the country through harassment, through intimidation, vandalism, threats, and violence. We have seen mosques targeted. We've seen Muslim families made to feel unsafe. We've seen anti-Palestinian racism. We've seen people dismissed because of their identity. We've seen communities treated with suspicion and voices silenced through fear. And as your mayor, I want to make it very clear that that has no place in our city. None. And we should all be concerned as a community, whether we're Muslim or not, because when people hesitate, when prejudice is softened, when discrimination goes unnamed, when moral clarity gives way to political convenience, that is how hatred grows. So let us be clear. On behalf of the council I serve with, Deputy Mayor DJ Kelly is with us, Councillor Chabot. Let us be clear that Muslim Canadians deserve safety, Palestinian Canadians deserve safety, and every Canadian deserves to belong right here in the city. That fact alone should not be controversial. It should not be political, because when hatred targets one community, it threatens every community. And our answer is in places like this. Our answer is courage. Our answer is solidarity. Our answer is each other. And as mayor, I will continue to stand publicly against Islamophobia, against anti-Palestinian racism, and against each and every single form of hatred that seeks to divide our city, because an attack on any of us is an attack on all of us. Because leadership means drawing a line now, not when convenient, not when you have the polling numbers, not after tragedy strikes, now. We also gather today as proud Canadians. Canada is one of the few countries in history, in all of history, where people from every faith, every culture, and every corner of the world have chosen to build one nation together. And that did not happen by accident. It was built by generations who defended freedom, democracy, the rule of law, pluralism, freedom of religion, and the equal dignity of every single person. And these values, unfortunately, we stand on guard for them, for each other, for these values. These values are not guaranteed. Every generation is called to protect them. So let us be clear. We will not allow misguided fear and ignorance to divide us. We will not allow hatred to define us. We will not allow any politicians to pit neighbor against neighbor. We will defend our democracy. We will defend treaty rights. We will defend our freedoms. And we will defend the right of every Canadian to live, worship, and belong in safety right here in Calgary. So I'm calling on all of you here present to fiercely defend one united Canada. A Canada where our differences fuel our strength. A Canada where newcomers are welcome. A Canada where every child grows up knowing that they belong. Because that is what the Calgary Stampede is about. That is what the Ismaili community is about. No matter where you came from, Shafika, you belong here. You are welcome here. No matter who your parents were, Zara, you belong here. You are welcome here. No matter how you worship, Nahad, you belong here. You are welcome here. And yes, no matter who you love, Danielle, you are welcome here and you belong here. That is the Calgary, that is the Alberta, that is the Canada that we are building, and that is our country that we'll leave to our next generation. So, to the amazing volunteers, to the organizers, to my city colleagues, I see Chief McClellan, Chief Dongworth in the back, all of you amazing volunteers, and the aunties especially, I promise, I'm almost done. Thank you for everything that you do for our city, and whether this is your first or your 40th Stampede, I hope that you make memories that last a lifetime. Have a safe Stampede, enjoy everything that we have to offer, and welcome to the best city in the best province, in the best country in the world. Now, just keep it down after midnight.